the opportunity and the chance to have Isaline and Sara both from SEO Nerds. They will explain to you who they are and what they are doing, and a bit more about SEO, what it is about, and a few tips that that will be really useful. But first, let me just introduce briefly, very briefly, for those who don't know who we are. So Powercoders, we are a coding academy for refugees. So we organize intensive trainings, coding trainings to help people to get into an IT career. So we put them in touch with companies and help them find a job and then thrive in this in an IT environment. So we are active in Switzerland, but also in other countries in Europe and expanding. If you need to have more information, just like connect on powercoders.org. Or you can just contact me and I can share a few information if you need some more. And yeah, so powercoders.org. Very briefly, because you're there tonight to hear about SEO and Isaline and Sara, that's why I'm just not like talking a lot, but also briefly presenting you the Powerhouse, which is a solidarity co-working space in Lausanne. We are right at the train station. And if we didn't have this situation, this COVID situation, we would be there to welcome you tonight here in this big space. We have a co-working space, a big open space with meeting rooms and also a classroom where we organize trainings. And we welcome everyone here to work. We have equipment if you need some equipment to work on your projects here. And we have good coffee and good tea, and sometimes even ice cream. So don't hesitate to drop by sometime.
It is worth it.
Yes, of course. We do, well, not at the moment because of the situation, but we really hope that next year we're gonna be able to organize like a lot of events, a lot of meetups, a lot of workshops, and again, some movie nights, hopefully, even more. So hopefully we'll keep you in touch if you're interested to know more. And we do organize also IT classes from time to time, French classes on Wednesday evening, and also workshops, like all kind of workshops. So if you want to know more, you can go on the website of the Powerhouse, or you can just pop by if you want to share a coffee, or just contact me and we'll discuss about this project. So now you're here to listen to Sara and Isaline. Thank you very much to both of you for this webinar tonight to talk about SEO. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, and I'll leave you to the floor. I leave you to the stage, and thank you again for tonight. And so if people have questions, don't hesitate to ask through the chat, and we're gonna have a moment at the end of the presentation to answer questions. And yeah, that's it. So thank you, Isaline. Thank you, Sara.
Isaline, tu veux commencer à te présenter?
Hi, everybody. Thanks for being here. Sara and I are really happy to join you tonight. It should have been like in-person meeting, but given the circumstances, well, it's better for everyone that we are doing a webinar, and at least you can see our whole face, not just only the eyes. So enjoy. So I'm a SEO specialist. I come with the marketing and content backgrounds. I used to work in an agency, and now I have created my own agency. I really like Google Sheets and tackling data and being in a discovery mode and sort of digging into a website to see what could be improved, which is most of the job actually, as you will see. And there you go, Sara.
Hi, so I'm Sara. I'm SEO specialist as Isaline. I work at Leap, so it's a development agency. Isaline and I have created like a meetup. The meetup because SEOnerd. If ever you want to join our meetup to learn more about SEO, today you will have like a general we will give you some knowledge about SEO, but if you would like to dig deeper into, then join us in our super meetup. We love our meetup. And yes, we do everything online too, due to the situation, to the actual situation. What else can I say? I think that Isaline was quite clear in explaining a little bit what the SEO job is. You need to be curious, very curious, because you need to figure out what's wrong in a website. Sometimes it's not so easy. Curiosity, I would say, then is one of the main driver in SEO, because every day you need to learn something, and you have to be like really focused in figuring out what's not working in a website. So I would say then that is all, so we can start. Isaline and I prepared some slides. I will share the slides now. So why are we here? We will speak about technical and on-page SEO, everything that you need to know. So mainly it's a little bit difficult for you to understand the title. When you will arrive at the end of this presentation, you will be like, ah, that is what they mean. So it will be absolutely obvious to you what we are speaking about. So let's, can I go in the agenda? Uh-oh. Why I'm blocked? Okay, yes. This is our agenda. What we will check today is like there are 3 types of SEO. Today you will learn a little bit more about that. You will understand how Google search work. We will speak about on-page SEO, and we will speak a little bit about off-page SEO. Then we will speak a little bit about how you need like to always be up to date with Google, because there are a lot of algorithm updates. So let's start. Go, Isaline.
So as Sara mentions, there are 3 types of SEO. First up is technical SEO, which means that you dig into code issues. Crawling, indexing, information architecture, tags, structured markup. That's a few of the things you look at, and Sara will go through that a little bit later. You have off-page SEO, which is everything that happens outside of your website and has impact inside of your website through the links and the mentions. And you have on-page SEO, which most people know about now. It's activities such as keyword research, optimization of text and headline. So the thing is, what we want you to know here is that you can come and start working in SEO with very different backgrounds. Some people, I think if you are a developer, you can start doing technical SEO and maybe switch to other parts of SEO. If you come with a marketing background, you're welcome. I think if you are an accountant and you like Excel sheets and digging into data, it works too. So I think it doesn't really matter where you come from. SEO is a job you learn on the go and just trying to do things. So whoever you are, you are wholly welcome to be an SEO specialist.
Okay, super. So how Google search works? Okay, let's check on this. So first of all, a website, like a front end of a website, will have like three main things. Okay, it will have like the skeleton, and that, can I use this? Yes, it will have the skeleton, and that is like the HTML, is a markup. Is this sort of code if you want. Then you will have the CSS in a website, and you know, I mean, when you have just the skeleton, it means nothing. So CSS will make it pretty, you know, when you decide the colors and this kind of thing, that is CSS. Then you have JavaScript, and that it will be like what makes super fancy your website. It will be a little bit what makes the difference, the interaction in your website. Okay, so I hope then that is clear. Sadly, I can't see the chat. Isaline will check the chat. So if there is question or you don't understand something, let us know. So remember this slide. Now we go to the next one. Okay, so I will not stay here and explain you everything. This is the base if you want to start development as a front end. So when you have a website, the website is constructed by the HTML DOM model. So what happens is then you have all these elements. For example, let's take an H1. So H1 is a title. Okay, when you have the title of a page is called as an H1. So what happens is then JavaScript, for example, can modify this title. So let's say then you have a Powercoder as a title written in black, and you can modify it and make it become green, for example. Okay. Okay, maybe you will use CSS, but you can also use JavaScript. So that is just to say then you can modify stuff. Now, if we take that into consideration, what you should know is then there are 3 steps to appear in Google. One is the step that we call the crawling. The second one is the rendering, and the third one is the indexing. The second step, the rendering, is necessary when your website has JavaScript, okay? So, so this was like something relatively new, and it came out because of the JavaScript. Before the existence of so much JavaScript, heavy JavaScript in the website, we just had these 2 phases, crawling, indexing. So let's go through crawling and indexing first. So crawling. What crawling is the base of everything. So first of all, how Google know that your page exists or then your website exists. So what it will do, for example, let's say then this is a web, then this is like a web page. Can you see my arrow? Yes, okay. Let's say then this is a web page. Okay, you know that hyperlink, I mean, you know that when you, like this one is an hyperlink, okay? Then you can click on it. Okay, everything then you can click on it normally inside the website will open a new page. Okay, this new page then is open is a hyperlink, and what will happen is then the crawlers will pass from one page to the next page to the next page. How they can do that? They can do it thanks to your links. Okay, so to this lovely blue part. So then you have in your website, they can do like this, and like this. Okay, so that is crawling. Why this is important? Because Google can discover new content or can discover new website, new pages, everything new, thank you to this process. Without this process, if your page, for example, you create a page and there is no links in your page, nobody's linking to your page, but you don't have the crawling. The page doesn't exist. Okay, now there is the indexing. So what happened in the indexing? So once there is the crawling, Google try to understand your page. And once the page is, and he got what your page is about, so understood the page, he will add it to the Google index. It's like a huge database, and let's imagine this as a library. When your page is indexed, it's just at that point then you can appear in Google search. It will not happen if your page is not crawled and indexed. Okay, so let's go back to this graph. So let's check it together. So what happened here? So I have, and we don't have the problem of JavaScript at the moment. Okay, so what happened here? We have our crawler, so the smaller robot than we saw, the spider. They will go to the new page, they will download the HTML, they will find new links, they will send these new links to the crawling queue, they will crawl them again, and then what they will do is then they will put everything together and send it to the indexing process, okay? So we crawl and we index. Perfect. Till here, everything look normal. You crawl, you index. Okay. Next. Okay. Next is coming the rendering. So is this part. Okay. Now we introduce something different. Then is when you have a lot of JavaScript, and this is the rendering. Okay. What it means? The rendering. Okay. There I maybe had a too complicated definition. Mainly the rendering is this. What you are seeing here is when a website is like, I would say, visual. Then you can understand and is it the website and you can understand the website. So that is the rendering. Okay, now I am showing you a website with JavaScript and without JavaScript. So this is exactly the same website. Here you have JavaScript, and here I remove the JavaScript. As you can see, you don't have the links here. Do you see them here? You have no links. And everything we say is based on links. So the crawling phase is like the goal of the crawler is to go to find links. But again, he arrives, he has the HTML, and he doesn't have the links. So what should he do? Okay, so what happened is then because of this situation that we saw on the top, Google introduced this part, the rendering part. So what happened is then in the rendering part, we will have like a web page then will be generated. Everything will be created as you see it. And then in that part, what will happen is then Google can finally find the new links. So all the process will start again, and then it can index. Because as I said here you don't find the links. So that's mean that when a crawler go, will not find the links. You have to wait to be here to find the links. Okay, so that's mean that we have three phases: crawling, rendering, and indexing. The rendering, normally, if you have heavy JavaScript, will always happen like 1, 2, 3. Okay, I will let Isaline explain you on page SEO. If you have any question, do not hesitate to ask. Isaline, should I go on with the presentation or you want to take the control? You are on mute.
Just go on. I'll do
Okay.
a little break when I'm done with the slides, so we can all breathe.
Okay.
So on page SEO,
Go.
So on page SEO, it used to be something like that. A SEO copywriter writes into a bar, a cafe, a pub, an Irish pub, a tavern, blah, blah, blah. And so long time ago, SEO was about keyword stuffing. And so if you think this is SEO, nope, it's not how it works. So Google undergo like algorithm and algorithm, and Google is not just a simple robot, it's just made for human beings. So it's not about keyword stuffing, but it is about keywords. Yeah. So first thing to understand is the search intent. Basically, when you are trying to look for something, you have a need, and you have different kinds of needs. We have, in SEO, we talk about these needs in 4 different categories. First category is navigational. So to give you something closer to home, it's like you are in the streets or you are somewhere and you look for restaurants or you look for a cafe. You want to go somewhere. You want to go and buy something somewhere. So we say navigational, you go. And then in this type of search intents, the type of content you're looking for is either, well, Google Map or a home page, a landing page to something. Second type of search intent is informational. Informational is when you are trying to figure out what is your needs and what do you need to fill this need. For example, you want to buy a coffee machine, but you're not really sure what kind of coffee machine. So you will need to think about, search the different types, like Italian coffee machine, Mocha coffee machine, Nespresso coffee machine. And these are informations. You're trying to look for advantages, disadvantages, or what they are, what is implied, and such things. In that stage, mostly you need informations. Most of the time, this is a blog post. That's an article. That's text telling you about things. Third search intent. Well, transactional and commercial, they are really close. I usually sort of merge them, but again, not always. So transactional is when you know what you want to buy. So you are going to search not just coffee machines, but you're going to search for something very specific, Mocha coffee machine, or even a brand name like Bialetti coffee. And then you want a product page. You want to know how much it costs, how you can buy it, when you can get it, if you can order it, if you have to go somewhere, but you are in the phase where you are ready to buy. You have all information and you want to just throw your money and buy something. Commercial is, search intent is very similar. This is about when you're trying to compare things. So you will look at reviews and buying guides, but this is really close to transactional. So often on product page, you can compare and you can say your advantages, like in comparison with your competition. So the thing is, when you create a page, you have to be aware of what the person is looking for to deliver this information to the person actually searching on Google. Because if you don't deliver the information the person is looking for, I mean, nobody's staying on your website. I mean, it's misleading. It's like when someone tells you something you don't need, so you just go. So part of SEO is checking that the content is first identify the search intent, and then checking that the page is actually matching the search intent. And then the next step, oh yeah, so, and if you work in marketing, we usually match the search intent with steps in the sales funnel. So in marketing, we say the awareness phase, when you are discovering a brand and such thing. This is the informational search intent. And then you go slowly through the search funnel to actually go to purchase, which is the transactional search intent. And basically, you equate SEO with marketing. And the plan is to answer what the people actually want to know and what they need. Next. So what do you do? Well, you know the search intents, and you have identified that you want to sell something, or you want something from someone most of the time. Otherwise, you would not be creating a website or just article. So this is an example of a keyword search. So basically, here you see the result of the keyword search, which is a table where you can see first the keywords. MSV is monthly search volume. It's one of the criteria you can assess the value of a keyword. Then you organize the keywords in categories. So for instance, this is about wine. So you have about the type of wine, you have about the name of the wine, you have about the delivery of wine, and then you match that with search intent. And then you think what kind of words you should add on which page of your website to match the situation of the user. And the keyword research, the next step, you can go further and not only identify the words, the categories, and the search intents, but you can actually check with your competition. Like here, you can see that hashtag NA and then the red dot. This is with a formula that's checking the competition, the extraction, the export of the keywords we have for competing websites. And we want to know what is our position, because in SEO, you have to define your strategy. Like, do you want to go to the same fields as your competition because they are there and this is where the target is? Or do you want to compete in sort of fields next to your competition, because sometimes there are some words that are too difficult to compete because everybody is on that word. So sometimes it's easier to choose a word where you have less search volume per month, but you have less competition. So you will be there first, you know.
Okay. Yeah, it's me again. So of page SEO. So this is the third kind of SEO. So what is off-page SEO? Isaline already introduced it before. So she was speaking about backlinks and mentioned. So these are off-page SEO is everything that gives signals and that is excluded in a certain sense from your website. So everything that happens outside your website, the core of page SEO is backlinks. So is building backlinks. I mean, that is really a job. I even did it for more than a year, is really to build backlinks. Why backlinks are important? Probably I did it here. Okay, so so I took an example of your page, of Powercoder page. As you can see here, you have Swiss info, then created the famous link to Powercoder page. Okay, and now we know then Swiss info is a strong website, is a powerful website, is a reputable website. I will not enter in detail in that, but let's think it like this. If you are working in a specific industry, would you like then that kind of site links to you? If the answer is yes, then probably it's worth it linking to that website. So in that sense, I know I also can see here, again, I will not enter in these details, but I know then this website then is linking to Powercoder is a powerful website. When a website then is powerful in a certain sense, link to your website is transferring, it's like if it's transferring a little bit of its power to your website and make you like reputable at the same level, not at the same level, but it is like giving you a little bit of its power. And so that will help like Google and other search engine like to understand that, okay, you also have some value. There are a lot of details around backlinks, then I should explain, but like today the goal is not to explain you everything, just give you a broad understanding. For this reason, off-page SEO is mainly based on creating backlinks. Mainly backlinks should be natural, so so you should do it in a way that is not mechanical in a certain way, or then it looks the most natural as possible. When Swiss info links to Powercoder is clearly something natural. Okay. So now Isaline will explain you more about Core Web Vitals and mainly about Google's updates.
Yeah, so basically in the SEO world, there are regularly what we call algorithm updates. And fortunately for the users, it never stops. So it means that when you search for something on Google, you mostly get good results, because Google wants you to be happy when you search for something on Google. So he wants to give you like splendid results. And for this reason, he makes the robots and the algorithm that provides you the results even better, like always better. And so this is one of the reasons why now we stopped doing keyword stuffing, because now there's no point, because Google is so much better. So the thing is, in May 2021, there is one very big algorithm coming, and some of them, they are like mysterious. Google doesn't say in advance, hey, it's coming. Then it just happens. And then sometimes you see your traffic going low and you're like, oh my God, what is happening? Yeah. So, but when Google knows that it's going to be really bad for many, many, many people, then he's still our friend. And so this time it's going to be so big that we know in advance. So basically this algorithm is about UX related ranking factors. UX related means that it's about the comfort of the users. So it's about technical points, which makes it nice to be on a website. And so that's the thing with SEO that we want you to understand here. It's like you cannot learn and be done and then just do your job. You have to learn all the time. If you hear an SEO person telling you that that person knows everything, well, this is a lie, because it's just impossible. It's too big and it's always changing. So as a job, this is the interesting thing, because you have to keep up all the time and just watch webinars and just read stuff and keep learning. And now we have planned some bonus where we wanted to show you a few tools, because, well, when you work in SEO, most of the time it's about data, what kind of data you can get in which tools and how to interpret it. So we wanted to give you just some insights about the softwares we use.
So as I have everything already open, let me check. No, it's not that one. Sorry, because I can see exactly. Okay, so with Isaline, can you see the screen properly? Yes, can you see a keyword finder? Okay, with Isaline, we prepare a joke like.
Wait, I think you have to do it a little smaller. I can't see everything. Like we can see only a little bit of the box where the words are written.
Oh, okay. I have no clue how to do it differently.
But maybe
okay,
I'm just afraid that we don't see all of the results, but maybe it's fine.
Okay, so
you'll just
try
scroll.
Okay, let's try it. So what we did, so apparently you see the box here is like, okay, we have written pizza, cheese, kebab, fondue. Now, in your opinion, which word is the most searched in Switzerland? So you can like go in the chat and say which one is the most searched in your opinion.
So geographically, for people living in Switzerland, what are they looking mostly for?
Cheese, kebab, fondue.
Do you think it's about fondue? Do you think it's about cheese? What do people want to eat? Because that's the point, right?
So I can see the chat, and the answer
is... I see 3 pizza and 1 cheese. Nobody is saying, oh, someone's saying chocolate. So can you add chocolate, Sara? So we can compare with chocolate.
Chocolate.
So
correct?
Basically, we are going to see how many people every month look for these words. Hey, someone says raclette. Okay, can you add raclette, Sara?
Oh my God, raclette.
So what do people want to eat? Okay, there we go.
Okay, so let's do it like this, and let's discover what is the most searched word in Switzerland about food. Ta-na-na-na! Pizza! Yeah. So, okay. So I don't know, can you see the results?
Yes, we can see the results.
So,
oh my God. And yes, raclette, 27,000 people. Kebab, 36,000.
Okay, so apparently chocolate, or I wrote it in the form incorrect.
No, it's right. It's right.
So I'm also surprised to see that in chocolate there is so little research. But this is just a joke, just to let you understand, and we have tools also to support us. So we use data all the time, and that is part of the job. So for example, when we decide what to write on a page, and we will take this data into account. So we will take we will grab the information into account, and we will search here. We will see the search volume. I will not explain more about the keyword difficulty. Sometimes it's good to have, sometimes no. But okay, this is just to let you understand, and we have tools to support us in our daily job. Isaline also opened a tool about backlinks. Yep. So I will stop sharing.
So I opened a tool about backlink. Wait, I have a hard time sharing my screen and talking. Oh, there. So I opened Majestic, which is the tool that we used for the link building for the backlink profile. As you can see here, you enter a URL domain. I have tried with Powercoders to see how strong in terms of backlink Powercoder is. So let's see this. Not that strong yet, but it's coming. So we have several types of data here. We have this trust flow and the citation flow. So this is really important because in SEO, you have lots of people sending you email and telling you, oh, look at my blog. You can buy links and buy article on my wonderful blog and you'll have so much traffic. But the thing is, this is a really bad idea. Do not buy backlinks because you have a low trust flow. If the backlink is not really good, it means that it doesn't come from trusted website. Remember when Sara said, oh, Swiss Info is really trusted. Well, yeah, that's good. But if you're on some whatever blog, then it's not going to work. Citation flow is the quantity, so quality and quantity. And you have other types of data here. You have also the topics. So this is we can see that the topic are identified really well for Powercoders because we are in categories: computers, software, programming, internet. So this is that's a particularity of Majestic. It's Majestic has created categories for websites and organizes websites into categories. So let's say that if we had seen here something that is completely, if we had seen something like health, for example, or lawyers, that would have been really strange. So something to fix in the backlink strategy. But here we're good. We're really happy with that. And so you have other types of data, the numbers, and you can find where you are linked and such thing. So what we do usually is we don't take this data just as is. We compare the data with competing with the competition. So here we could say, oh, well, I don't know what the competition of Powercoder is, but maybe other school for computing. Probably now they are competing with the co-working spaces, maybe. So you could check what other people are doing to be strong and inspire yourself to do something similar. So this is Majestic.
So I would like just to add two things. So when you compare your competitor, as Isaline said, you can compare their your trust flow and citation flow with them. So if you are better than them, then it's still okay. I mean, what is the important thing is then you are better than your competitor. So if everybody has the almost same backlinks profile, at least you know it. It always depends if their backlink profile is better than yours. And last thing, like Isaline said, it's not probably when somebody offer you to buy backlinks, probably their trust flow is low, but most important of everything is not a natural backlink and is against Google guideline. So that is important. Remember, try to avoid buying because it's against Google guideline.
And
okay.
So we have someone asking, how do you fix the law of the trust flow? And some example for that. So here you have several strategies you could take, but each of the strategy would require a little bit more of digging. So the first thing you could go to check to what are the link? Are the bad link on really, really bad websites? Here it's not, I mean, it's not really high, but there's not a dramatic difference between link quality and link volume. But you could go to the Google Search Console and check if you have been spammed with lots of backlinks from a sexual website, for example. So that would be lots of really bad quality, especially, I mean, if you are selling sex toys, it's wonderful, but otherwise it's bad. So one of the things would be to disavow, like to say to Google, I don't want these links anymore. Like, I don't trust them. So this is one thing you could do. Or you could try to increase the numbers of quality sources, like quality backlink, just to make it high. See what I mean? Like you could think, oh yes, since I am about coding, I want to be linked on all companies that have hired an intern from Powercoders. Like, because we can expect that these companies, they are computers, programming, agency, blah, blah thing. So they could be some quality links. Any other idea, Sara?
No, I think then I still think then there are several things to check. One, the competitor, their level, and if they are better than you, that you can still do backlink profile of your competitor, check to which website they are linking, for example. and then check the to which website they're linking. If it is interesting for you, then you can like try to contact the company if you have contacts, and then try to check with them if it is interesting for them then to write about you. I mean, fair enough, you have PR company doing that now mainly. So trying to figure out creating content and creating like somehow also a lot of backlinks to you because they are contacting the right people. And on my experience, Isaline was correct on the disavoy, but my feeling is then more and more when it's spamming, Google is like doing quite well now with spamming. So arrive to deal with spamming quite well, but yes, you still have some spamming and disavoid works fine. And yes, I would say like contacting check the backlink profile of the other ones is like the solution to improve.
Yeah, what Sara said is really good. Like a really good reality check is to see how your competitors are doing, because it could be that in your industry, like nobody has high high citation flow or high trust flow. So it could be not because of your company, it could be just the industry.
Exactly.
Do you have any other questions?
Yeah, because it's true, then we spend a lot of time on backlinks. So this is your occasion to ask anything about SEO that you didn't understand, or say anything that you didn't understand, or
And you have 10 minutes of Sarah's awesome time, because then her kids want her. So honestly, if I were you, I would ask as many questions as I could.
I guess then everybody's hearing my kids crying, so so I don't know if go on mute at this point or what.
So no, honestly, we have a little bit more time, so just fire any questions, and otherwise you can just send them and we are happy to answer.
So about scrolling and rendering indexing, do you have questions?
So I see a question. Can we create a lot of websites, then we have a lot of backlink? So this is called black hat SEO. And black hat is not something you want to do. So it's against Google's rule. Obviously, I mean, it's like stealing is stealing and lying is lying, even on the internet. So some people do that, but this is not something we can recommend.
And by the way, it's official, then it's not recommended. So, there was a time where everybody was doing this, but then no, you shouldn't do it. I understand your question. I understand because it's smart, but no.
Yeah, there are some people like, let's say you are an insurance company and you create a comparison website about health insurances, and in all of the comparison, you are the best, for example. That's smart, right? But that's totally against the rules. Hey, there is another question, Sarah. You want to take it?
Yeah, I can see the questions. Why?
It's in the chat. Can you see the
what
chat?
are the advantages when you have a high trust flow? So mainly I believe then you have to have an equilibrium between trust flow and the number of backlinks. So the advantage is then when it's like we showed before, you know, a reputable website, they are linking to you. So that's mean then they are transferring a little bit of their trust in a certain sense to you. So if they are transferring their trust, Google start to trust you more. So it's like if somebody speaks well about you, but to somebody else, then and another person still speak well about you. So at a certain point, like people will trust you just because of your reputation.
And also this, like if Google has to choose between two websites, your website and your competition websites, and your website is more trusted than your competition website, then you will just be lower in the search results, which means less clicks, which means less traffic, which means less of everything, money, life, donation, whatever this is that you're looking for. So I have a formula that says that you should divide your trust flow by your citation flow, and have your spam score.
Yes.
And so this is something I use quite often, just to have an indication, you know. Any other question?
Okay, the question and answer. If the website is commercial, do backlinks function different than blog? If the website is commercial, do backlinks function different? Wait, I didn't get it completely, the question. Isaline, did you get the question?
Yeah, I think the question is if you want to sell something, or if you just provide information. Yeah, if you have a website, if you want to sell something with your website, or if you just provide information. Yeah, the backlinks work the same for everybody.
Yeah, yes, that for sure. It's the logic of the backlinks, but yeah.
So basically, if on your website you expect someone to do something, it could be buying something, it could be doing a subscription, even for free for something, give a donation or whatever it is. For all of these websites, even if the objective is different, the backlink, like everything about SEO works the same. Like you don't have any special treatment for anyone. Did we answer your question?
Let us know if we answer.
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Do you have any other question?
So we recorded this webinar. So Isaline and Sara will put it on the YouTube channel of SEO Nerds, and so we can share the recording with you. And in case you need to know a bit more, so you can join the SEO Nerds meetups that Isaline and Sara are managing, and we hope that you really enjoyed this this webinar tonight, and you really learned a lot of stuff about SEO. I don't know if you still have a few more questions, but seems that so there's another question. When I need the work of the tool, what is the name of the enterprise? The company, so you mean with the name of the company of Sara and Isaline? Yes, so Sara is working at Leap, and yeah, Isaline is working at Pilea, and they both have a YouTube channel and meetup on SEO, which is called SEO Nerds. So you have the link in the chat earlier. Isaline put the link on it. We cannot hear you, Sara, because you're muted. Yes, thank you. So you have the email address in case you still want to know a bit more about SEO, and maybe want to have a few recommendations regarding some tools or maybe resources that might be useful. And yeah, so they organize, I believe, once per month. Is that correct? A meetup. So you can join. It's open to everyone. Yes. How can I learn on job? How can you learn? You mean how can you learn about SEO or about? you need to learn more about this topic? What do you mean, Hajara?
So how can you
SEO.
Okay, so if you want to learn more about this job is with like meetups and reading everything, and the way then I have learned SEO, then I think is the same way than Isaline did, is like working on it. So Isaline and I had like different background. So for me to learn on it, I went to old startup at the beginning, and I asked them to test. So that it was the way then I learned. So really by knocking at the door saying, okay, I will do it for free, but let me test at least. And then normally startups are quite open to let you test if it is for free.
Yes, I think I started learning when I was doing another job. So I learned by doing things over the weekends, and because at first you're not paid, obviously, because you are two beginners. So I started learning things in the evenings and on the weekends. I see someone who is asking for recommended course. There are definitely a few ones, and we have added in the slides some links to resources that we find that can be trusted. So I think you can just go back to the slides once you get it, and click on the links. And so most of the sources we recommended are in English.
Yes. So, and we also added like some, okay. Okay, cool. Oh, thank you.
So thank you, everybody. It was a pleasure to be here with you. We love talking about what we like, so
yeah, so it's fine.
Obviously it was a good time, right?
Okay.
Thank you very much, Sara.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Isaline, for tonight. It was really interesting, and thank you. We hope that you inspired a lot of people to go into that job and that kind of specialization. Thank you. Thank you
so
to
much.
all the participants. I hope you really enjoyed tonight, and that you'll dig a bit more and learn a bit more about SEO. And yeah, so don't hesitate to join the next WebMardi meetup that Isaline mentioned in the chat. It will be really interesting as well. And don't hesitate to join the other meetups of SEO Nerds and also of Powercoders. So wish you all a really good evening. And thank you, Sara. Thank you, Isaline.